Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. This is the big one, Manchester United versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and I am joined by Statman Dave, Doc Joshi and Adam McKola, and we're going to get into what's going to happen at the Bridge this weekend. Lads, we've not got a great record there. Is that going to change this weekend, anyone?
Yes.
Predictions first up then?
No. I'm just like general feeling. Are you feeling confident in this game or what?
Yeah, 100%. You see Roma taking
Okay. I'm seeing a lot of nodding and I'm seeing a lot of,
I'm thinking...
Obvious delusion coming from you.
I'm not sure, to be honest, but Dave, you go first because you're confident.
That's not the first question. I just wanted to set the tone with where we was feeling everything. The first question is Mourinho versus Conte. Are we going to see another 4-0 in the league? Are we going to see United turn up there and try and park the bus? Are we going to see Paul Pogba back? But let's first talk about this. Conte versus Mourinho. Who's doing it better? Who's going to handle the pressure better? Who do you think's better set up to win this game? Joshi, talk to the people.
Well, I think Conte's under a bit of pressure. He's seen some problems this season. You know, the midfield has looked a bit suspect against Roma. They were all over the place. The defense was all over the place. So this is not that performance against. It was Roma, wasn't it? So that performance was uncharacteristic, really. Usually he's all about that organisation, certainly the three at the back and the midfield. So he's going to have to do something this weekend. I think the return of Kante, I believe he may be available, will be important in that. But I think Jose will be looking to sort of, lay a bit of a marker. Last season we did get hammered there. He'll go there. We'll probably try and keep it tight. And he'll probably try and do a similar job as we did at home against them. So it's going to be interesting. We'll probably match them. In terms of pressure, Conte is under more pressure. But Jose, he is under a little bit of pressure in the sense that we're not sort of flying. So he has to keep producing results to be able to sort of justify the type of football that he's playing in terms of the media reaction. But he'll do what he does. He doesn't really care about what we think. He'll set up and keep it tight and look to sort of hit them on the break, hopefully.
Adam, what do you reckon? Who's on the up and up in this game, coming into this game, or are both a bit flat?
It's weird with United. Like, I tweeted this after the game the other day that it felt weird after we won. The whole game just feels weird at the moment. We've got Jose Mourinho seemingly trying to pick a beef with the fans. And despite the fact, if you looked at our results on paper, you'd think Man United are flying at the minute. Yes, they suffered that blip at Huddersfield, but they're flying. They're 4 out of 4 in the Champions League, second in the league. They've only dropped points apart from that Huddersfield game at Stoke and Liverpool. We're doing well. But then when you're at games and you're listening to the manager talk, it just feels really weird at the moment. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. Me personally, I haven't got any complaints. I think the football needs to be better on Sunday if we're going to win than it was on midweek and at the weekend before. But I'm genuinely happy with the way things are going. I think we're the team in form when you look at us and Chelsea. Chelsea, over the last couple of fixtures, Watford should have beat them. They've lost against Crystal Palace. They've lost 3 out of their last 7. That game against Roma was awful, but I feel the way they'd lost that game against Roma is going to spur a reaction from them as well. So that's what's making me sit on the fence a little bit. I'm kind of not sure what Chelsea to expect. If they play like they did against Roma, with the way we are organised, and I think we'll go there, play 3-4-1-2, with the way we've organised, the way we'll set up, and if they play like that, we will batter them. But I don't think Chelsea will play like that.
David, do you think there's much chance of, as Adam mentioned there, there's a lot of losses in Chelsea's recent form. Do you think there's any possibility that we could be seeing Conte given a boot before the end of the season, or even Monday morning, should we humiliate them at the Bridge on Sunday?
I don't think it'll be Monday morning. That ain't going to happen because, you can't. It'd be crazy for Abramovich to sack another manager, but we've seen it before. I think the interesting side of Chelsea is, like you mentioned, they're conceding goals for fun. I think in the last 6 games, 4 times they've conceded 2 or more goals, which is pretty poor in defensive. Watford destroyed And so did Roma. The Roma one was a bit more interesting because it was sort of how United could approach the game, similar to how Roma approached. Maybe we'll talk about that a bit later on. In terms of Chelsea this season, though, they're not really compact. Last season, when they didn't have the ball, they were pretty much a 5-4-1. They were so defensive and they were so good. This season, it looks a bit broken. It almost looks a little bit Arsenal-esque, where when they defend with 5 at the back, 2 in midfield, and then the 3 forwards don't really contribute. You know, you switch out Diego Costa and you bring in Morata. That's a striker that works really hard off the ball, that, you know, can to start the press. To having someone like Morata that's not really bothered, then you've lost Conte, who's out injured, and Nemanja Matic now plays for Manchester United. Again, that's 2 core components on their midfield and their pressing that might not be there on Sunday.
Sorry about the connection issues there. Dave has had a little issue. Tweet him and ask him why. And I'm sure he'll get back to you after we finish this video. Joshi, are we going to see a surprise Pogba this weekend? And do you think that could have a massive impact on how we approach this game?
If he was to start, then yes, it will impact the way we approach the game. But I actually don't think he will do. He's not. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to know exactly where he is. We're not really getting any information out of the club in terms of how far he is along his rehabilitation. We see all these videos. We're seeing all sorts of stuff coming out in terms of social media stuff. But actually, we've not had any concrete information with regards to his recovery. So I can't speculate on whether he will start or not. And if he is fully fit, I would start him. But it's really difficult to know whether he is or not, because it's not the kind of game that you'd want to ease someone back into. So, you know, I can't predict. But if he does start, if he is available and he does start, then yeah, of course it will change the way in which we approach the game. And we've seen the way our players sort of deteriorated in terms of the rhythm and flow in the final third. Without him, he brings a lot to that team, and he is our best player. So, of course, it changes the way we approach the match, but I personally don't think he'll play.
Adam, what do you reckon? Are you happy with how we've dealt with the injuries? We've had quite a lot of injuries this season, and a lot of them in similar sort of positions. Want to see Pogba back? Do you want to risk it if he's not 100%? Because he can't be 100%, can he? Let's face it.
I thought if Pogba was to start on Sunday, he would have at least been on the bench midweek. But who knows? With the way Jose, this is what I mean at the moment. I just don't know what's going on. Jose keeps coming out and saying, "Oh, I don't know what's going on with Pogba." Now, 95% of me is pretty sure that he definitely knows what's going on, and he's playing games with the media. But then 5% of me is thinking, why has he been doing his recovery away from Carrington, and why does Jose seem so moody lately? Everything could be linked. I don't know. I don't think Pogba will start, though. I don't think he can start. But if to see him on the bench, that would be a huge boost for the team. I think the majority of the form has dropped off since he's come out of the side. And to see the fact that we've had so many injuries, and you look at them, most of them have been to centre-half and central midfield. So the whole spine of our team has just been shattered for a lot of the last month or so. So to see us get through this, and we still look strong defensively, we're still keeping clean sheets, we're still winning most games, it's quite good to see as well. But then Jose's just acting weird at the moment. I hope his tax case has been playing on his mind.
I think there's a massive chance that that's been a lot of the reasons why you've been seeing Jose say certain stuff is probably to deflect from the tax case and have people talking about the utter nonsense that he's coming out with, because his personality over the last month or two has been so different from what we saw towards the back end of last season that it makes me think that this is a man that is a media manipulator. This is a man that knows everything that he says ends up in the paper. I don't know. Again, I think that's got to be something to do with his tax case.
It's hard to why. Who said anything about Lukaku? No one said anything about Lukaku. Does he sit in front of one annoying guy that just keeps criticising Lukaku? We all know a guy
sits behind him.
I just genuinely don't know. No one booed Lukaku. I remember the Rashford decision got booed, but I think that was more of not booing Rashford going off and hoping Lukaku went off. It was more as why is Rashford going off? Bring Martial on as well as Rashford.
Set De Gea off, play fly keeper.
It's really weird. Don't attack. Why are you attacking the fans? We do nothing but sing your name and be on your side. Last season when we were playing shit and we kept drawing games, we were on Mourinho's side throughout all of it, and we still are. But stop. It's weird. Just stop it, because this is how it all unravels, man. It's weird.
What I can tell you What I can tell you is that Pogba has been training with the under-23s. So has Rojo, so has Carrick. I'm not sure about Zlatan, whether he's been training with them or not. But Pogba has been training all this week with the under-23s on a sneak tip. So there's a strong possibility, I'm being told, that he could feature in the side. But the decision will be known tonight, I think. And then, obviously, there'll be a training session tomorrow.
All right, Jim White.
Saturday morning that they take part in. And I guess that the final decision will be made then, I imagine. Dave, do you go with him if he's 70-80% fit, or do you park it for another time?
I think tactically with Pogba in that sort of counter-attacking three-man midfield, we saw with Fellaini, Pogba, Matic that just broke with such freedom, allowing Pogba to play a little bit more as an attacking role, getting into the final third and driving with the ball and so forth. It'll be a massive asset. You see, one of the second Roma goal was Nangolan picking up the ball in sort of the left-back area, similar to what Toni Kroos has been doing for Real Madrid so successfully. And Chelsea just didn't pressurise. He got his head up, played a great pass to El Shaarawy coming in. Again, that's where Pogba likes to play. So tactically, there's areas Pogba would excel. Would I play him? Absolutely not. There's no point. The international break is literally after this game. You might as well let him have that time to build himself back up. International break, he'll be at United the whole time there. Then the first game after that. I just don't think it makes any sense whatsoever to risk something like a hamstring injury. Again, if Conte starts for Chelsea, he ain't going to last long.
It's a muscle injury. You don't want to mess with that.
Muscle injury is not the sort of one that you want to rush back. But I imagine that the medical staff are going to be well aware of that, I'm sure. Right, we've got some comments. So John Mungai says, what is Dave doing in the kitchen?
Just chilling out.
Andreas says, what do I think of Antonio Valencia as captain this year? And he's capitalised the first word of every single one of the first letter of every single one of those words. That really annoys me. What do you think of Antonio Valencia? Joshua, what do you reckon of Antonio Valencia as captain?
Yeah, good. He's one of those guys that lead by example as opposed to verbally, accost people like a Keno type player. I don't have any problem with it. He's been one of our better performers in the last 18 months, and he's a senior member of the squad.
Vikash says, not Pogba, but Carrick could be fit. Again, an experienced head in a big game like this, someone who's going to retain possession, I think could be huge for us. Sahil says, Josh is saying Pogba isn't coming back, so Pogba will be back. Not your biggest fan, Joshie. John Cap says, Roma played three midfielders and Chelsea struggled, so could Mourinho do the same? If he does, who could play? I think we have to play three if we've got three. I don't think McTominay's ready for Chelsea away, though. Maximus says, Harry Kane misses one match, big deal. We're without Pogba, Carrick, Fellaini, Rojo and Zlatan. It's the media agenda, mate. That is the top and bottom of it. Right, let's get stuck into the starting 11s. We have currently got John Shin, just overtaken Adam McKola. John Shin got 47 points on one preview. Unbelievable stuff. Adam's on 46, John's on 47, Josh here on 37, Ben Pace on 36, Dave, you're all the way down on 25. Absolute garbage. I've only been on one preview and I've got 23, so sort that one out. Right, give us your starting 11s. Dave, let's go with you first and let's see what we're not going to be playing this weekend.
All right, let's do this. So today, watching the game against Roma, thought Roma did really well in the central area and they controlled Chelsea. They had that 3v2 in the middle. Last season, it was more of a 4v4. You saw Pedro and Hazard getting involved in that zone. So I'd like to see a 4-5-1 from Man United. Of course, David De Gea going in goal, Valencia, Bay, Smalling, Young at the back. I'd like to see Nemanja Matic holding midfield again. It was so important to Chelsea's press last season. He was the guy that would be recovery, man-to-man, and we all know that he's very good in that situation. Into midfield, we'd like to see Mkhitaryan on the right-hand side. Mkhitaryan on the right-hand side is an interesting one. If you go back and you watch all of his assists in the Premier League this season, 2 have come from set pieces. The other 3 have been when he's been playing on the right. Instead of being in that central area and starting there, he's moving into that zone and then playing a pass. So I think that could be a really nice area for United. On the left-hand side, Marcus Rashford. I go with Rashford over Martial just because of his defensive work is a bit better than Anthony Martial. And then in the centre park, I'm going to go with Tuanzebe and Ander Herrera. I just want to see Tuanzebe because for game time and for maybe for other reasons. And then up top, of course, Romelu Lukaku.
Wait, did I hear that right? Because you're cracking up. You said Tuanzebe to start in central midfield.
Central field.
This is a prediction game. It's not like what I might want to see happen.
I'm not playing the game anymore, Joshie. I'm playing on pure, tactical nous. Game doesn't matter. What did McKola get for winning last year anyway? Nothing.
Love and respect, David, which you've got none of.
Sitting on my fireplace, not bad.
Adam.
Hold on. Howson, hold on. The reason why Tuanzebe is playing central midfield is so United can be flexible in a tactical sense.
How would Tuanzebe like the two players away from Lukaku in your lineup?
So this is the thing, right? If United play Chelsea and they play a 3-4-3, go with a 4-5-1 and attack them centrally. If they play a 3-5-2, you play a 3-4-1-2. You change the system. Tuanzebe moves from central midfield to centre-half. Mkhitaryan goes to number 10, and you have Rashford and Lukaku up top. I think United need to be that flexible in selection. I'd go with McTominay if I knew Chelsea were playing a 3-4-3. Simple as that.
He's not going to play McTominay. He's not going to play Tuanzebe. Yeah. And I wouldn't play Mkhitaryan because he's been really poor of late. Whatever, Dave. Don't do drugs, kids. Adam, do you want to give us your starting 11, please?
Yeah, I don't know why I picked my starting 11 in a 4-2-3-1. When I sent it to Chris, I just forgot. But I think we'll play a 3-4-1-2. But nevertheless, I'll give the 11 that I did because I'm going top of the table regardless. This is what winners do, Dave. Take note, mate.
Imagine picking Tuanzebe.
David De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Jones, and Ashley Young. I actually think we'll pick that four with Smalling as well, and then obviously put Valencia and Young a bit further forward. But in mind, I've got De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Jones, Young, Matic, Herrera. I've gone for Lingard over Mkhitaryan, simply because what you said, Mkhitaryan isn't playing great at the moment, and I think Lingard's defensive responsibilities, and he'll do that more than Mkhitaryan will. The same reason Jose will pick Rashford as well. So I've gone with Lingard, Mata, Rashford, and Lukaku. Mata's not going to start. That will be Mata in taken out instead of Smalling. But yeah, I've put Mata in.
I'd personally like to see Mata in just for ball retention reasons, because I think we've lacked that massively so much recently. Josh is shaking his head. I'm going to ask him why he's shaking his head. Josh, why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, I don't think Mata's going to start, and that's why I'm shaking my head. So my team, given it's a prediction game, I've gone De Gea. I think we are going to go with three at the back. Bailly, Jones and Smalling. Valencia, Young at wing back. Matic, Herrera in that central midfield area. Rashford, so I think we'll go 3-4-3. So Rashford wide left, Lukaku up top. And wide right, I was playing around with Mkhitaryan or Lingard. But for some reason, Jose is just persisting with Mkhitaryan. I think he'll start. And I think that'll be the team. I think he'll try and do what we did last season against them. It was a specific job that roles that each individual player had. Like Herrera had Hazard, Darmian was sort of stuck on the other side with Pedro, and then the midfield and was supplying the counter-attacking with Rashford. This time we've got Lukaku and Rashford and Mkhitaryan. There's good pace in those areas, good work rate, good movement. Hopefully we can catch them on the break and get the goals like we did last year at home. Obviously this is away and we don't have a great record at Stamford Bridge, but I think that's how we'll set up.
Interesting. Josh, do you want to give us your thoughts on Chelsea then and what we need to be looking out for?
Well, I mean, I think we all know Chelsea quite well. They've not been as defensively solid this year as last year, and I think there are a few reasons for that with Matic leaving. I think people underestimated the role that Matic played. He wasn't Kante, sort of all action, flying around, tackling, but we've seen this year the quality that he brings. So, you know, they are missing something in that midfield, and hopefully we can dominate in that area, especially if Kante doesn't start. Obviously up top, Morata is going to have potentially a little bit of something to prove given the way he was linked with United over the summer, and he's not really got, he's had a sort of a bit of a mini drought similar to Lukaku. So both of those players will have something to prove. But obviously the key threat is Eden Hazard. He's the talent, he's the star player in that side, and he has caused us problems in the past. It depends on how they set up in terms of who's going to sit on him, but I think Jose will have a similar plan to last year where we had a man marking. Herrera did a man marking job on him, but hopefully they have another shambles of a performance at the back, and we can take advantage. Although I doubt it. Similar to Adam in the sense that I think they'll be much more well drilled. That'll be a focus of their preparation. So I think again it'll be a tight match, and hopefully we come out on top.
There wasn't well drilled versus City. There wasn't well drilled versus Crystal Palace. Either of those could have been won
exactly
prior to this week.
But they never got dicked like they did the other day. Yeah. And they weren't like you see that? I know it's only like a 3-second clip, but that clip where all three of them get dragged to the left back position, and there's just no defenders for.
I don't think you'll see that again this weekend.
Like you're not gonna see. I think that is like, boom. That's the unless it's Conte's time and he's lost control and everything. But you hear rumors coming out that Roman Abramovich has been down to the training ground. He's happy with the atmosphere at the club. He's happy with the manager still. I know those things usually come out about a week before someone gets sacked. But all the sounds are that Conte is not on the verge of losing his job. So if that's the case, you would expect a reaction from them. I think Alvaro Morata is going to be a huge threat for them. I think Morata is a fantastic little player. Eden Hazard, obviously. But without N'Golo Kante, Nemanja Matic missing for them as well, obviously. They haven't got him. Bakayoko coming in. I think Bakayoko's a decent signing, but I think they're a bit light in midfield, and it's a shame we haven't got a fully fit midfield, because if we did, and we had Pogba, Herrera, Carrick, Matic, everyone to choose from, Fellaini and all that, I think we'd smash these lot on Sunday, but we haven't, and I think that evens it up a little bit.
David, what should we be looking out for against Chelsea?
I think it's Cesar Azpilicueta in his position. I think if he plays as a wing back, as a right wing back, United are going to be in with some luck. He's looked really shaky in that position. Roma really exploited the space behind him. You think of that move, the Zeko ball and all the players getting dragged over. That wasn't one instance. That was continually in the game. Roma were finding that space, kept on playing it out to Zeko and then moving it across. But if Cesar Azpilicueta plays as a centre, one, they're going to get his defensive ability there, and two, they'll get his ability on the ball completely more past any of the player in the Premier League last season. And again, when he's in that position, he's a great player to play out to the midfield and link the midfield and the attack and everything. You think his big strength as well is playing those balls from deep in midfield. I think he's got 4 this season. They've all come to Morata, but 3 of them have been from deep crosses. So if he gets even into the United half, United need to be on him straight away and not give him that option to play that long pass. Because again, as we all mentioned, Morata's on a bit of a goal-scoring drought. He wanted to sign for United. He dyed his hair red. He's going to want to score against Mourinho. So it's a big thing. One thing stopping Morata is stopping Cesar Azpilicueta.
Okay, Dave, we'll stay with you then. Let's give us your prediction. How's it going down?
2-0, Man United.
What? You know it's at the Bridge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam?
We haven't won there since we won the league, Well, I do think, I have said we're going to win the league this year, so does that mean I think we're going to win there? It's going to be 1-1, innit?
Josh?
Definitely going to be 1-1.
I'm going to go with a really tight 1-0 win for United.
I think it's going to be 1-1 as well. Sorry, everyone. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to win 4-0. I mean, there's no evidence for that whatsoever. Anyways, make sure you join all us lot on Sunday with we'll have the live team news just before kick-off. We'll have fan cams. You'll have me doing a review after the match as well. And I might be with a special somebody in a special place. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one on Sunday. Let's look forward to the game. Get it in the comments below. Who's going to score the first goal? Who's going to make the difference for United? What score do you think it's going to be? And is Conte going to get sacked if we give them a good slapping? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Laters.